off, questions will be at scales. This is a question of both candidates, and Tom, will begin with you. If elected, what changes, if any, would you make to the Sheriff's Department in your first 100 days?
First 100 days is going to be tough. What happens is the Sheriff's budget is already in place, so I'm going to be limited as far as budgetary items that I can change or add or delete. I will say the first order of business is going to be a grassroots community policing program. We're going to push forward with that. We're going to have zone commanders in the zones, and we're going to begin working in partnerships with the community.
Same question, Rick?
Okay. Would not be any drastic changes, because most of the things occurring today in the Sheriff's Office are occurring because I've put them into place. I think the Sheriff's Office is a very excellent run professional agency. But the first thing I want to focus on, I've said at the beginning of the campaign, is more crime education and crime prevention programs throughout the county. Most crimes are crimes of opportunity. I think we can do more partnering with our citizens and our deputies in the streets to prevent, deter, and detect crime.
Getting back to the community policing, where I live in the Little Keys, the only time I ever see a deputy's car in the neighborhood is something happened in that neighborhood. So if you guys can expand a little bit more, several years back there was true community policing on 41st Street in Marathon, for example, deputy walking the beat.
Community policing is a philosophy. It starts at the top of an organization and works down. I plan to be a working sheriff. I plan to be on the street, working with my group to get them to come into the communities, to work with the communities to address specific issues. What's an issue in Key Largo may not be an issue on Stock Island or Key West. It's pocket communities, and we need to treat them as pocket communities and work in a partnership to either address problems or fight crime.
Okay, we are a community policing agency. We started over 20 years ago. We are active in our community. We have crime watch meetings. We do town hall meetings, citizen crime watch, bicycle patrols. You see about every third patrol car has a bicycle rack and a bike in the back of the car. We try to be active in our community. We are very active in organizational groups. You'll find the Sheriff's Office on almost every board group there is, from United Way, Children's Shelter, Monroe, Guidance Care Center, DPW, Zontas, Rotary Chambers. We work very hard to be a part of our community, to be a partner in our community, and to have that in the community. I can't speak about your particular situation, but our men and women are encouraged, and we encourage them to be part of our community, to be in the streets, to be off the main highways. I think we are very effective in our community policing programs.
Question for Tom. Looking back over the past 4 years under Sheriff Bob Perry, what decisions that he made, what actions that he took, would you have done differently?
There were two issues with Sheriff Perry that I thought he would do differently. I was kind of disappointed in him. One is, and Sheriff Perry knows what community policing is. He knows what a true grassroots community policing. What my opponent's saying is part of it, but it's also taking stock in the community. It's also working with partnerships. And talking with the Upper Keys the other day, they said what happened to our citizen advisory group they used to meet that disappeared. They wanted to see it back. When I walked the Keys, the number of business owners that hasn't seen a deputy in 15 years, and the last time they were there was because of a problem or an issue with their business. The second issue that I think is another item that would hurt us in the long run is our Explorer Cadet program. The sheriff was always big about the Explorer Cadet program, but yet he's done nothing to enhance that program. And when I say that, that's the potential of our future employees. And I think he missed the boat in providing additional funding or providing additional training, or start bringing some of those people in working part-time during the summer, the older high school kids. That's something that we need to reach out to so that we can keep law enforcement people local. It's people that you've known that have grown up from a little kid, that have been in the community, worked in the community, been part of the community.
It's okay, this question is actually for both of you. I'd like to know what you think the role of the Sheriff's Office is in diversion efforts, specifically for those folks who have mental health and substance abuse problems that repeatedly bring them in contact with law enforcement. I mean, what do you believe the role of the Sheriff's Office is in both identifying them and working with social service agencies to either rehabilitate or treat the issues or otherwise divert them from the very costly jail system?
I believe part of it is being a little proactive on the matter, addressing the problems ahead of time before those individuals create crimes. Being a 7-year veteran, one of the main focuses that I want to do as sheriff is to go after our veteran community, those homeless that have mental issues or handicap issues. And I want to focus on them because I don't think they deserve to be living underneath the bridge or in the woods in our community and becoming a repeat customer at the county jail. I think we need to guide them, do whatever we can to help them and make sure that they're treated with the respect that they deserve for defending our country.
Well, AD knows it well. I'm very familiar and very focused on the mental health problems in our community. I am the chairman of the Guidance Care Center of Mental Health. I've been on board about 7 years. I'm the vice chair of the regional council for West Care of all South region of the United States. It is critical to have the sheriff and the sheriff's office actively involved in all parts of recidivism, helping those get back on their life. In the jail, we have programs focusing on this. We have AA programs, NA programs. We work with the courts with their intervention programs, jail intervention programs. We have multiple programs in the jail. We work with our people to try to help build skills, life skills. We have batterers class, we have parenting classes, anger management classes. We do as much as we can to try to help the people who are incarcerated to keep them from coming back. We don't want them back. We want them to be good, viable people and partners in our community. That's critical for public safety, for the sheriff's office, for the financial responsibility we hold, but also our need to help people every day.
This is a question for both candidates, and Rick, we can start with you. Key West and Monroe County has a state-of-the-art but very underutilized jail facility. What plans do you have, if any, that could make our jail run more efficiently and to maximize this law enforcement resource?
Okay, we do have a state-of-the-art jail. The jail is about 20 years old, 21 years old. Our capacity at the jail is just over 700. We average about 600 inmates a day there. About 500 are local arrestees. And what we do to maximize the jail right now is we have a heads and beds program where we work as a business to help bring money in to the county. We bring in federal inmates, which are from overcrowded federal facilities, and we bring them in $82 a day. Not because we want to, but we do it because we want to be part of the solution and help generate money for the taxpayers. And we average our population between 90 and 100 inmates a day, which we're charging for the care, custody, control of those inmates. Last year we generated $2.8 million. This year we're generating $3.2 million of renting bed space to maximize that jail, the space, and maximize our ability to return money and help be part of the solution to bring money into the taxpayers and keep your taxes down.
I think the jail is being used in the best money-making way that it could possibly be at this point in time. I would like to streamline some of the management, cut some of the costs. I think we need to look at the healthcare program that's currently in place. I would like to see the animal farm moved out from not done away with, but moved to a better location, provide a better location there for the animals, and focus more on rehabilitation of the inmates at the jail.
Rick, a lot of, and this is for both of you, by the way, but a lot has been said about low morale in the department because too top-heavy is the question a lot of people have. How do you address that? Is there low morale? Is the place too top-heavy? You need more people on the street? And this is again for both of you.
Okay, good question. I've heard this question several times, and I've said it before, and I say it again still. Every 3 years, when the sheriff race starts, someone comes out and runs against the sheriff or sheriff's office personnel, it's the same message every time. They're top, they make too much money, and morale is bad. What I say, morale is not bad. Our men and women are happy. Our retention is the best it's been in a dozen years. Retention is directly correlated to morale. Our deputies are compensated more comparatively south forward. They received raises this year in the last couple of years. Our deputies are enforcing law, are proactive in their approach to policing. Crime is down 8.1%. Crime goes down when officers are proactive. If officers are unhappy and morale is low, officers become reactive. When they become reactive, crime goes up. The fact that crime is down is a direct correlation to proactive law enforcement. I've been openly endorsed by both unions representing the men and women of the Sheriff's Office from the Corrections and the Law Enforcement Bureau, the Teamsters and FOP. If they were unhappy and morale was so bad, they would not be openly supporting back in.
I'm going to go ahead and touch on some of the topics he talked about and answer your question. My opponent likes to go back to the 2005-2006 levels. Let's talk about the budget. It was $42,077,077. At that time, we had one sheriff. We currently have one sheriff. At that point in time, we had one undersheriff, the same as we do now. In 2005-2006, we had 0 chiefs. We now have 2. In 2005, we had 5 captains. We currently have 5 captains. In 2005, we had 7 lieutenants. We currently have 6. Same with the Inspector General. There was 1 Inspector General in the past, 1 current. 9 directors, both places. We had 0 inspectors in 2005. We now have 4. Road Patrol was sliced from 32 sergeants down to 24. And back in 2005, we had 127 deputies/detectives. We're now down to 117. As far as crime is down, I have an issue. Yes, the crime index, the overall crime is down with the exception of aggravated assaults. If you look at the stolen property in Monroe County for the last 4 years, I can fund the sheriff's budget for a year. This year alone, stolen property was $7,656,000 and change. We recovered $1.9 million of it. In 2010, we had $10.9 million of stolen property. We only recovered $3 million of it. 2009, $11.8 stolen, only $2.8 million recovered. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not proactive, we're reactive. We're missing it. Property is going out of Monroe County, and we're not recovering.
Question for Rick. You've been a long career in law enforcement. What has been your biggest professional disappointment?
Well, it's a tough question. It's been a long career. It's been a 25-year career, and it's been blessed to work for the Sheriff's Office and the opportunities I've had. I think I would have wished I would have ran for sheriff earlier. I waited 25 years and I contemplated doing it prior. I think I wish I would have started my career as a sheriff a couple of years earlier.
Thank you, gentlemen.